Scott's running behind again. What's new? All right, Rosie. We got Ryan. We got Jeanette. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Jeanette. We got Ryan. We got Jeanette again. We got Ryan again. We got Ryan again. We got Jeanette again. We got Ryan again. Okay. Okay. Hi, Scott. Hi, Rosie. Hello. Hello. I'm running so behind. I mean, as you can see, my hair's still wet. I just got out of the shower like 10 minutes ago. Hi, Scott and Rosie. Hi, Jeanette. Hey, Ryan. Can't hear anything. I know. Yeah, I didn't even have the board, the soundboard turned on. So yeah. Not sure if it's just me. Can hear. There we go. Can hear you. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance. I didn't get a chance to set it up as a premiere. I didn't get a chance to set it up. Where it sends the notifications out. So hey, Marilyn. Marilyn's here. So hey to Marilyn. Yeah. So Doodle's just laying on her blanket. So here we are. I hope everybody is okay in Ice Mageddon. I know that I don't know what is well Ryan's not susceptible to our weather. I know that Marilyn is up in New York, so keep Marilyn in your thoughts and prayers. I mean, she's here with us, but I mean, just so that she and everybody else up there is safe. Jeanette, I don't know what the weather's doing where she's at. I know that here in Houston it is currently 30 something, and it's supposed to go down to things like 24 tonight and 22 tomorrow night. So I mean, we're not getting it nearly as bad as some people. I know that I was talking to a friend of mine in Illinois earlier, and she said it's -6 where she's at, and then I've got another friend in Canada that I don't know what it is where she's. I want to say it was like -20 something, -30 something where she's at, but she said that there were parts of Canada that were, or the southern Canada, not just way up in the upper territories, but parts of southern Canada that were -50. So yeah, 22, which is very. I mean, I say it's very unusual for Texas. I mean, y'all have heard me say before that we don't have much of a winter. I've made the joke. Winter lasts. It's about a half-hour period one weekend in January. But it's usually January, February is our absolute worst. What we got? Ryan asked if I've been busy. Question, yes, sir, I have. We can expand on that a little bit. But Jeanette says it's raining, 18 degrees tonight where she's at, and then Maryland is -1. Yeah. But no, we late January and February are usually our absolute worst. Now, for it to get down into the 20s is kind of unusual, kind of not terribly, but down in the low 20s, yeah. I mean, we got down in the, I want to say the mid 20s, maybe low 20s last year when it snowed. It was actually this exact same weekend. And then it was back in 2021, it was February. I want to say it was like the first week, second week of February. We had a hard freeze that really did a lot of damage. A lot of people's pipes froze. Plus, it was the year, you can Google it, it exposed all kind of weaknesses in the Texas power grid, because there were millions of people, not just millions of people that lost power that shouldn't, but there were actually power companies that, if I'm not mistaken, they were actually shutting down parts of their grid, and which was shutting power off to people. And then once it opened back up, then people that were on it was almost like a shared, I can't remember how exactly how it went, but it was where your power bill is, I mean, I know your power bill is always based on your usage, but there was something about where the rate changed based on demand. It's almost like a shared. I don't know. It was weird, but there were people whose power bills were normally, even in the winter, you know, $350, $400, $450, maybe $500. We're all of a sudden getting power bills after the freeze, where the grid just crashed, and now people were getting power bills for like $8, $9, $10,000 for 1 month, and it was an absolute nightmare. I ended up with a lot of work out of it because a lot of people's pipes froze and burst and flooded their houses once it thawed. So a lot of plumbers were going in doing pipe repair, and then since they don't, patch the walls where they cut it open to repair the pipes, then I was getting a lot of sheetrock and paint work out of it. So, but it's still, I think just in the state of Texas, because that was another one of these Ice-mageddon kind of things like we're having now. I want to say just the state of Texas, it was like 264 people died because power outages. They didn't have heat. They didn't have a lot of failures. Like I said, it exposed a ton of problems with Texas. So, but anyway, that's where we are. I hope everybody's safe. Doodle's just chilling. She's been kind of going back and forth all day. She can't make up her mind. She'll get on the sofa, then get down. She's been kind of all over the place today. It's kind of weird. So she does it from time to time. Hey, baby. Yeah. Yeah, she was on the sofa a while ago, stayed for about 10 minutes, then jumped down, laid on her pillows for a while, then got under the tree. So, strange little cat, but we love her. Oh, she's warm and happy, aren't you? Aren't you, dude? Really? You just gonna ignore me? Okay. She's a brat. And Sasha's fine outside. Every year I have made her a little home, build her something, put some blankets in it and all that. She'll use it maybe once and then just walk away from it. She likes to, I'm feeding her more. I usually feed her more in the winter, and I definitely feed her more when it runs up on cold snaps. But she puts on extra weight. She puts on extra fur in the wintertime. I walked outside a while ago. She's just laying in the yard, just happy as a clam. Okay, whatever. She's got 2 kennels that have got blankets and old clothes and all this stuff. One of them's got a heating pad in it. She's laying out in the yard, chilling out, having a good time. She's like, okay, I walked out there. She got up, come running over to me. I petted her. She, did her little head bops and everything, and she was good. I'm like, okay, Pimple. And of course, little spoiled Rosie. We're not going to get her too fired up today. She's chilling. Sasha sounds tough. I know she is. I don't even get. She doesn't. I guess, like I said, I feed her more in the wintertime, and I feed her more wet food because I think it's got more fats and stuff in it that helps her. Also, I know that your body creates heat in order to process food, so I try to keep her fed so that her body's processing and stuff like that. But you'll look, if you see her, in the summertime she's just a little petite, little skinny cat, and then in the wintertime she's a little butterball. So, like I said, she's got her choice of 2 kennels out there that have blankets and whatnot. And she chooses to lay out in the yard. Okay, Pimple. She'll lay out in the yard or lay on my trailer or wherever. I walked outside last night. She came running out from under my truck, tail straight up in the air. She's yelling at me. I think honestly, I guess she was just mad at me. So she'll talk to me. Okay, Temple, love you too, Sasha. That feel good, Doodle? Oh, get the chin scratch. Are you happy? Is her happy girl? Oh, oh, big stretch. Oh, the big stretch. Just the big stretch. Yeah, what, baby? What, baby? I can't pet her too much right now. You can't hear it, but she's sticking to the. There you go. Tear up my sofa some more. There you go. Good girl. Tear up Daddy's sofa. Daddy don't need a sofa. With the temperature, humidity, everything with the heat going, then the air's a little different. So there was a lot of static cling when she got up off the blanket. Then you could hear that static, you know, like a piece of tape. So when I was petting her, I can only pet her like 2 or 3 times, and then it builds up, and I'll shock her like on her ears or something. It happens to Sasha in the summertime, like particularly in the evening. I'll pet her 2 or 3 times, and then the next time it'll shock her, and she'll run off. She'll run, 5, 10 feet ahead of me and look at me like, "What'd you do that for?" So, what is it, baby? You want treats? You want some treats? You want some treats? She's just chilling. I ain't going anywhere. Me and her just chilling out in the house. So she's enjoying it. So, you want treats? Oh, look at that. Oh, looky there. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. 35. Little Miss Static Clean. Yeah, good baby. Yeah, good doodle. So you gotta get the last bit of dust off the blanket. We ain't gonna waste any, are we? You got good? Wanna do kisses? We ready for kisses? Wanna do kisses? One for Marilyn, one for Jeanette, one for Ryan, one for Stephen, one for Miss Elizabeth, and one for me. What do you mean no? What do you mean not one for me? Really? Shake your head no with me? No. None for you, Daddy. I just gave you treats. You believe this brat? And it's nap time. No, Ryan had asked earlier if I've been busy. Yeah, I've been busy with not so much with jobs, but trying to get caught up on my studying. I got behind because, as y'all know, I had planned on knocking out the entire course in like 3 weeks or a month, and then I got really busy with work, and that fell by the wayside. That plan fell apart, and so I started trying to catch up, and there's one thing after another. So I'm severely behind. I'm almost halfway done with the course. So I've got 3 of the 6 lessons almost done. I've got 2 done. The third one's almost done. Then there's 3 more, but I've only got the course for 6 months, and it expires March the 22nd. I can extend it after that, but I've got to pay more money. So I really want to knock out it's taken me 4 months to do almost 3 courses, 3 lessons. So now I've got to knock out the rest of the third one and the last 2 in 2 months. So it's going to be a push, but that's why I say since there's not a lot going on work-wise, then yeah. So Marilyn, yes, they are temptation treats. Yes, she loves them. She likes the other stuff. Remember, it was a year or so ago, we were doing the like the little squeeze tube, the little Go-Gurt things for cats. But remember, that was making her, I think that was counteracting some part of the anti-hairball stuff, and remember, she went through a period where she was throwing up more. She was throwing up more hairballs. So I hope so. I've been knocking out quite a bit here the last couple of days. So I've been just grinding. I've got so there are lessons that make up units that make up courses, and then courses that make up the program. So the program, like I said, has 6 courses, and then within those courses there are units, and within those units there are lessons. I knocked out 2 units, I think yesterday, which, it was about 4 or 5 hours. And then I knocked out 1 unit this morning, and I've almost got another unit knocked out. So I'm hoping to have this 3rd course done by tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow afternoon. Keep our fingers crossed. So, but I've got a lot of other stuff going on too. I've got some other things that I'm working on that I haven't been working on previously. So yeah, so there's that. I've just added more to the mix, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So. But anyway, so how have y'all been? How was y'all's week? Hopefully safe and productive. So much information to learn. Oh yeah, it's a ton. But how have y'all been? How was y'all's week? You're smart. You can do it. I don't know about that first part, Ryan, but I'm going to give it a shot. If the other things take over, you'll still go. I'll stay up for 3 days mainlining coffee. I won't even be drinking anymore. I'll just be shooting it. Cutest cat ever is sitting behind you. I know. Marilyn says she had a good work week. Awesome. Ryan said he had a brilliant week. Thanks. I love that he had a that's a UK thing. But I love that. It's like I was telling y'all before. I've got a customer of mine from the UK, and when he saw me in my vest, he called it a waistcoat. There are certain words that the UK uses that I need to start using. I just love them. I had a brilliant week. See, we're over here in the States, we're like, it's all right. No, the UK, I had a brilliant week. I love it. Jeanette said week was good. Awesome. Glad everybody had a good week. So I'm not even gonna insult you, Ryan, by trying my British accent. That'll just you'll just be like, no, Scott, don't. I'll try to use the words, but I won't try the accent. I probably will. I can say I won't, but I'll probably my stupid self. I probably will. I love to hear people from the UK. Yeah, like I've got that customer from the UK. I would ask him questions that I didn't need to ask him just because I wanted to hear him answer. Like, on this wall, do you want me to match the texture? I mean, even though we'd already talked about it, you want me to match the texture? So it matches. Oh yeah, that would be fabulous. I mean, say I can't do it. Say I just tried it, Jeanette. Please do, Scott. Please, that would be wonderful. See there? See, I don't have that British accent. Ryan probably just fell out of his chair. He's like, no, now you sound like a half British redneck. Stop, Scott. See there? Ryan said, ha ha. Ryan probably just spit his coffee out. Like, what? Don't ever do that again, Scott. Stop. You can barely speak English. Don't try to do it with an English accent. Rosie's sitting here thinking, I don't know him. I'm just in here warming up. I don't know who this guy is. She's going to be putting her paw up in a minute going, oh, God. They are my most. Oh, they are. That's what I say. I mean, there were things I would ask that customer that we had already discussed 4 times that I knew the answer to, but I'd ask him a question just to hear him talk. And I have to tell you, they he has an Aston Martin, and I asked his wife one day. I said, please tell me. I said, how many? Because they've been married for like, I don't know, 20-something years. I said, please tell me that at some point y'all have gotten in the Aston to go to dinner or something, and he's looked at you and said, Bond, James Bond. And she's like, no, he's never done that. I was like, what? I was like, how in God's name has he not done? I was like, he's British. You got to ask him. I was like, how? What? Yeah, I was disappointed. He left to go somewhere one day, and he was pulling out in the Aston, and I said something to him about, I can't remember, we were talking about the car, and I think he said something about, he took it to a car show, and somebody scratched it, like with their jacket, whatever. I don't know what it was, but I told him, I said, hey, if it'll make you feel better, I understand you're concerned about your Aston. I would be too. I said, but if it makes you feel better, if it makes you feel safer for the car, for you, I'll do this. I said, I'll go ahead and relieve you of that stress. You can take my truck, and I'll sacrifice and take the Aston. That way you don't have to worry about it. And all. He was like, yeah, thanks, not. Like, hey, I'm trying to help you out, sir. Rosie's embarrassed by me right now. She's that's why she's got her eyes closed. She's like, I don't see this fool. I'm not watching this nightmare unfold right in front of me. Yeah, I like that. I see. I am partial to Sean Connery. I gotta say, he's gotta be my favorite. Second favorite would have to be, he's a totally different Bond, but Daniel Craig. I know they went a completely different way with a completely different direction with his attitude and the way the character viewed things. But for that direction that they took the character, Daniel Craig was bad. He was bad. And then behind that would be Pierce Brosnan. I'll tell you right now, my worst one, it's got to be George Lazenby. I hate to say it. It has to be. He did that one. Which one was it? From Russia? Was it from Russia? From Russia with Love? I'm a huge James Bond fan. I bought the box set of every James Bond movie that's been made up till now. Up to all the Daniel Craig one. I bought that box set on Apple TV. Which one was it? Was it? I think it was from. No. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That was George Lazenby. Yeah. He did the one. He did that one movie, and as a matter of fact, it was Sean Connery, then George Lazenby for that one, and then they brought Connery back for another one or two, and then, if I'm correct, I think he came back for one more, and then they brought in Roger Moore, and then after Roger Moore, they brought Sean Connery back again for. It wasn't You Only Live Twice. I want to say it was Never Say Never Again. And then, I think, then it went to, or did they do another? It was either then it went to Pierce Brosnan, or then it went, maybe did another, I can't remember if they did another Roger Moore after that. Yeah, Roger Moore was good. Yeah, but the character was different. I mean, because Roger Moore was back. It was actually kind of that sort of cheesy '70s period where Sean Connery was very, what's the word I'm looking for? He was just very classy, smooth. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Ryan just said it right before I did. He was very smooth, and then Roger Moore was just sort of the kind of the '70s cheesy swinger era kind of thing, the lava lamps and shag rugs and all that stuff. But if you think about it, it's like Daniel Craig, the Bond that Daniel Craig played he was so much more cold. And cold in a good way. It's like, there wasn't a lot of dialogue. There wasn't a lot of monologuing. There wasn't a lot of him. It's like the very first one. It was Casino Royale, where he earned his 00 status by killing that guy in Prague. I'm telling y'all, I know way too much about James Bond. And the guy said, I know you haven't been. That you haven't reached 00 status because you have to have 2 kills, and then it dawns on he dawns on the guy that he had killed one of his spies, and he starts to tell James the second one is much more. And James, there was no talking, James just brings his gun up, shoots him, and he says, "Yes, considerably." I'm telling you, I know way too much about James Bond. It just dawned on me, I need to get a life. I'm sitting here quoting script from a James Bond movie that came out in 2006. You see the look on her face? She was looking right at the camera going, and this is what I have to live with. Daniel and Eva, oh yeah. Well, oh God, when he got the straight flush. Yes. And I love that one. Now, again, I'm a Bond freak. Casino Royale was the only Bond movie was the only Ian Fleming book, and again, Ryan being from the UK, don't let me step on any toes here, but it was Casino Royale that was not made into a Bond movie when they started the Bond movie franchise with Sean Connery, because there was something about, I can't remember the details, but it was something about, I think Ian Fleming had shared the rights to the Bond character. There was somebody else that owned or partially owned the rights to Casino Royale that did not sell them to the production company. So that person had the movie made separately, and it was almost like a Pink Panther kind of thing. It was almost like a joke. It didn't go over very well. But then when Daniel Craig came in, they had acquired the rights to it, and that's why they started with Casino Royale and did that one. And that showed how James acquired that silver Aston Martin by winning it in a card game. What was it? It wasn't poker. Was it poker? Or was it Baccarat? I can't remember. I wonder who will be the. I can't remember his name, but they sort of announced it, didn't announce it the other day. It was. It's one of these things that it's not signed, sealed, and delivered, but it's like most of the way there, kind of like it's gonna happen, kind of thing, and it's sort of leaked. I can't remember who it is. It's some. Here's a shocker. It's a British actor. I think it should be Rosie. Rosie's like, I think it shouldn't. I think you should shut up. The way she just cut her eyes at me. Your facial expressions are perfect today. They are absolutely on point. She is so irritated with me right now. And I'm just noticing as my hair is drying out, man, I am bringing back the Patrick Duffy bouffant from 1977, baby. God dog. Man, my hair needs to hurry up and grow out. I kind of thought it would be a British actor. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking the same thing, Marilyn. She's already. Exactly. See, look at that, right? Shit, exactly. God dog. That's double O Rosie right there. Double O Doodle. Oh, we can do the doodle with 2 zeros. Double O Doodle. Dang, I might have to come up with it. We might have to do a skip for that, Rosie. Probably not, because I got enough crap going on. I'm certainly not giving Rosie a gun. Give you 3 guesses who the first person is she'd shoot, and the first 2 guesses don't count. That was good, Ryan. I like that. She's already dressed for the role. She is. Double O Doodle. There we go. Thank you, Jeanette. I hope I've got an idea rolling around in my stupid little head. I hope I get a half a minute of free time. If I do, this is going to be. I probably won't be able to do it this week, but oh my God, I don't want to say, because if I can do it, I want it to be a surprise, but I don't know if I'll have time to be able to do it. But if I can, I want it to be a surprise. It's going. Oh my God, this is going to be hilarious. I will say that it will have something to do with Double O Doodle. Oh God Almighty! I think the doodle has had enough of my silliness. No, no firearms for the doodle. No, no, she will kill me. Rosie would be like, I'm finally going to be done with this fool. Finally have my opportunity. Jeez. Oh, me. All right, guys. I don't think I'm going to cut out of here. I still got a lot of stuff I got to get done. I got a list. A growing list a list that is growing by the day. What do you think? Oh, see, God, I want to tell y'all, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. I'll tell you what. If I can't or don't make some progress on it, not by next week, but the week after. If I haven't done something on it and made some progress on it by 2 weeks from today, then I'll tell y'all. I'll reveal what was rolling around in my head. But if I can do something, I want so badly for it to be a surprise, because I don't want y'all to have any idea what's coming. Because if I can do this, then I want it to be a surprise for you. And if I can do this, God, it's going to be a big ask, because if I can do this, then it may be a way to take the entire channel in a completely different direction. But then that's going to involve, I don't know, we'll see. That would involve a good bit. I just had something. 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2. I know that's a big ask, but I want to see if I can get something done on it either this week and or the week after. If I have not been able to do a thing with it by 2 Sundays from today, then I'll tell you what was in my head. And y'all remind me, because I got enough other stuff going on. If I don't get anything, if it falls by the wayside, then 2 Sundays from now, I'll completely forget about even mentioning it. So I would say next week, but like I said, I know. Give me 2 weeks, because that's just going to be more time that I can get something done. So. But yeah, so I like I said, that's, as a matter of fact, it's that project is going up on my whiteboard with my other stuff. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna try my best, but if for whatever reason I can't, then I will reveal to y'all. And even then, I'll still keep it as something to try to get done. I won't just say, well, this is what I was going to do, and too bad, never mind. I'll still try to work in the time to do it somewhere along the way, but at least y'all won't be, totally in the dark. So. So there we go. So thank you for giving me the 2 weeks. That'll be awesome. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, I do have a good bit of stuff I got to get done, and then try to work in some more studying. But yes, I had to bring the doodle for as active as she was today. But yeah. So. Anybody have anything else to discuss, talk about, think about? Meryl said just 2 weeks. Yes, ma'am. Marilyn said all good here. Stay warm, Marilyn. Stay safe, please. Ryan says no, all good. And everybody say a prayer for for everybody that's in the path of this ice mageddon, the snow and ice and freezing rain and double-digit negative temperatures and all of that stuff. Well, Marilyn said next week is, oh yeah, it is. Yep. Next week is either February the 1st or January the 32nd. Just too icy here. Yeah, stay inside. Please stay inside. Stay warm. Stay safe. And everybody say a prayer for everybody that's like I say, in the danger zone, so to speak. I mean, we're cold here, but like I said, I was talking to a friend of mine in Illinois today, and she was telling me it's -6, and this is southern Illinois. This is not like she's in Chicago. I mean, she's like almost in Kentucky. So I mean, she's at the bottom of Illinois, and she said it was -6 there this morning at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's not like I was talking to her at 3 o'clock in the morning. So ain't no telling what their nighttime lows were last night or the night before. But also, like I said, my friend in Canada told me yesterday or today, said that it was -20 something, -30 something, and certain parts of Canada -50 something. So yeah. Yeah, those temperatures are dangerous. I mean, you're talking about frostbite, just all kind of dangerous things can happen. So, I mean, I'll tell you one, when I lived up in St. Louis, or right outside of St. Louis, in southern Illinois, same area that my friend lives. I mean, as a matter of fact, I know her from grade school. That's how. I mean, I've known her since the early '80s. But me and my stepbrothers were outside, and it was one of these kind of things. This was southern Illinois. I mean, I remember we couldn't be outside for more than about 10-15 minutes, and that was just bundled up. I mean, it was just too cold to be out there. Wind was howling. I want to say the wind chill was like, and this is again southern Illinois, the wind chill was like -20 something, -30 something. I think the straight temperature was it was probably about like it is now in southern Illinois, except there were really heavy winds. Well, at some point the creek behind our aunt's house froze, which it usually did every year. But we walked up the creek, so we got on the creek. I mean, the ice was, you could walk across it. The ice was thick. We walked up the creek for God knows how long one day, once the wind died down and everything. And one of the waterfalls, the whole thing was frozen. There was still water coming around it and this, that, and the other. But it was icicles that were 5-6 feet in diameter that were 30-40 feet tall coming off this waterfall, just frozen slabs of ice hanging in mid. It was the most beautiful, most awe-inspiring thing I've ever seen in person, or at least up to that point. And we'd go on the bottom, get to the bottom of them, and we'd hit them with a stick or hit them with something, and we'd break off chunks that were, 8-10 feet tall that were this big around. Well, being kids, 12, 13 years old, we weren't thinking. But we'd break off chunks of it that would fall down, like I said, this big around and 10 feet tall, not realizing how dangerous those were. Well, we didn't realize how all this stuff worked. But it was, we had moved down the line of frozen waterfall, and we're hitting some others. Well, I guess the vibrations in the ones that we had hit before just kept going and resonated, and all of a sudden, some of the waterfalls that we had been at like 2 or 3 minutes earlier, chunks like 20 feet tall and maybe 5-6 feet around, had to weigh thousands of pounds, came crashing down right where we had been standing. And if we'd still been standing there, all three of us had been dead. You could feel it vibrating the ground. It was terrifying. We naturally decided to, at that point, just to get as far away from the waterfalls as we could, because we didn't know which ones were coming down next that might come down 20 feet tall and 6 feet around. Yeah, it was something. And naturally, we never did that again. So, and then later on, as the ice was thawing, then we would take turns running across, because it gets thinner the farther out into the center. The center of the ice, the middle of the creek, was where the ice was the thinnest, because the water's moving, and it's always the thinnest right there. On the sides is the thickest, and then it thins out as it gets to the middle. Well, as the temperatures warmed up, it was still frozen, but it was one of the, and again, this was dumb. We would run across, and it wouldn't break, but you could see the ice flexing in the middle. Well, at least we were smart enough to know not to go across two at a time, and not to stand still, because then you're really screwed. So one of my stepbrothers took off running, and we knew that we shouldn't be doing. I mean, this was melted enough that there's no way we should have been doing this. So one of my stepbrothers takes off running, because he was older than me, and then the other one was younger than me. So he takes off running. We could see the ice flexing every time he stepped. And even after he ran by, it still did this. And I'm like, oh my God. I take off running. And I mean, it feels, every step felt like the next step there was not going to be ice there. I mean, it was just, I got just about to the middle, and I was about to crap myself. I did not want to do this anymore, but I knew I couldn't stop. If I stopped and all my weight concentrated in one spot, I was going through. I wanted to turn around and go back, but it was one of those things where the only way out is through. So I just kept going. My other stepbrother, rather than waiting on me to get across, he's about 5 feet behind me. And I didn't know it until he started screaming. So as I step and it pushes the ice down, then it comes back up. But where he was behind me, he was actually stepping while it was coming up. He got out to the center where it wasn't strong enough to do that, and he went right through. Fortunately, he had whether it was instinct or he just was that brilliant, which I think it was instinct, he stuck his arms out and created a larger surface area, and he was able to catch himself before he went all the way through. Now he's in the water, from like here down, and he's hollering and screaming. Me and my other stepbrother, we knew we couldn't go get him because we would have gone through. So we're hollering at him to break the ice in front of him, and he's taking one hand where it's thin enough and just breaking it in front of him, and he's able to work his way up to where the ice was thick enough that he could climb on top of it. And then he climbed on top of it, and he worked his way up to where it was thick enough that all three of us could be out there. We grabbed him, pulled him over to the other side. Then we had to go. And by now his coveralls are starting to freeze on him. Everything on him starting to turn to ice. And we're trying to haul butt. We had to go like 100 feet up. There was a little bridge that went over the creek, and then over the creek, and the creek was probably 50, 70 feet wide. It wasn't like a little creek. It was probably 50, 70 feet wide, then up over that, and then probably another 100, 150 feet to my aunt's house. So we had probably 300-400 feet to go to get him back to the house, while his clothes were freezing up on him, while he's soaking wet, and the temperatures by now were probably, I don't know, maybe low 30s, right at freezing, or just maybe a degree or so below. Because it was enough that the creek was not thawing out because the temperatures were above freezing. The creek was thawing out because they weren't so far below freezing that moving water would freeze. And the water was, the motion of the water is what was thawing it out. So once he got out, he still started freezing up. Hey, Stephen made it. We already did kisses, and you and Miss Marilyn got one. So, yeah, we're about to cut out, literally we just got, sorry, Stephen. Sorry you came in right on the tail end, but, like I was telling you, we did a little bit of the wrap up a few minutes ago, and then I got to run in my mouth, told one more story. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut out. I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. But yeah, so I've got something working in my head, Stephen. We were talking about James Bond earlier, so I came up with a little stupid idea that I'm going to try to work on and reveal to y'all here in about 2 weeks. So there you go. So I don't know where you're located, Stephen, but if you are anywhere in the path of this winter storm, this Ice-Mageddon, then please be careful, be safe, and we'll be saying a prayer for you and everybody else. So yeah, like I said, I don't know where you're at, but if you're in the path of this stuff, then just stay warm. You and Miss Elizabeth, stay inside, stay warm, stay safe, and hope everybody comes out the other side of it okay. So that having been said, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to get out of here. Arizona, yeah, okay. So Arizona, I don't think y'all are. I mean, I know it gets cold in Arizona, but I don't think y'all are in the sunny today. Awesome, good job, thank you. That makes me feel better that part of the Rosie Army's in the nice sunshine. Awesome. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Get out of here. I'm gonna leave it up. Let everybody say their toodles. 64. Good. Thank you, Steve. See, Stephen is representing the Rosie Army with the warm temperatures. Good job, Stephen. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Stephen is bringing the sunshine today. Yeah, everybody have a safe and warm week. Marilyn said, thank you very much. Yeah, y'all be careful. Take care, and like I said, as usual, I'm going to leave it up for a few minutes and let everybody say their toodles to everybody. But until next week, y'all have a good one. Have a nice, safe, happy, fun, productive week, and we will see y'all later. Say toodles, doodle. Or lay there and sleep. Good job. Toodles, everybody. See y'all next week.